a shot was fired, and when you look at that tape, nobody ran. They saw I was in trouble. This is the most incredible movement. These are the most incredible people. The Secret Service sniper with one bullet, he did a great job. It would be nice if it would have been earlier. I was under fire, and I was down, and I was here, and they came rushing, and there were bullets coming at us because it was whizzing over my head. And I don't know how they didn't get hit, but they had 7 or 8 guys that absolutely, you talk about bravery, they jumped on top of me, they shielded my body. A woman who was on my right, she was shielding me, beautiful person. She was shielding me everything she could. And she got criticized by the fake news because she wasn't tall enough. Well, you know, she wasn't tall enough because I'm tall and she wasn't tall enough. And she was criticized. She was so brave. She was shielding me with everything. She wanted to take a bullet because the bullets were flying. Nobody ran because they saw I was in trouble. And it's an amazing thing. I'm telling you, this is a movement the likes of which nobody has ever seen. You know, the amazing thing about that night, and I don't talk about it, I told you during the convention, I said, I don't want to talk about it, but one thing that was so amazing, the people that were sitting behind us, we had thousands, tens of thousands of people, but they're mostly here. The people behind us, when this incident took place, nobody ran. And crowd control people will tell you when there's a shot fired, and people know a shot. It's much different sound than firecrackers and everything else, much different. They know, especially the people that we're talking about from that section, they know a shot better than anybody. And a shot was heard, and then another, then another, then another. They saw I was in trouble. I went down, but I grabbed, I looked, I said, wow. But a shot was fired, and when you look at that tape, nobody ran. They saw I was in trouble. This is the most incredible movement. These are the most incredible people. They saw. They were right here. And it was a group similar to this, a little bit larger, twice the size. And those people, and there was one guy, I got to beat him. He was dressed in black. He had sort of a green floppy hat on. Not only didn't he run, and there were others that did this too. He stood up. Bullets are going, you just look at him. Did you see him? Does everyone, I mean, you've seen this clip hundreds of times. People call up, they see it hundreds. But look at that guy. He's not afraid. And then he's pointing. There he is. And the Secret Service sniper with one bullet, he did a great job. It would be nice if it would have been earlier. One bullet from a much further distance. And let me tell you, the Secret Service is taking a lot of heat, but I was under fire, and I was down, and I was here, and they came rushing, and there were bullets coming at us because it was whizzing over my head. And I don't know how they didn't get hit, but they had 7 or 8 guys that absolutely, you talk about bravery, they jumped on top of me, they shielded my body. I mean, to a point that was amazing. And we have to remember that too. We have to remember, they understand, they made some mistakes, but I'll tell you what, bravery was incredible because those bullets were flying, they were flying nasty. And it didn't stop them. You saw how fast they moved. They just moved and they jumped on me. I could show you an arm here. I said, these are strong people. But I'll tell you, they were very brave people. That was a very incredible thing. And fortunately, maybe it could have been a little bit earlier, but that sniper for Secret Service, he was a world-class shooter. And from probably 400 yards, that's 4 football fields, because he was over there, quite a bit away. And this guy was over here, 130 yards away. So you add it up and you double it or triple it. And one shot, boom. Because if that didn't happen, a lot of people would be gone right now. A lot of people. But there was great bravery displayed, and you have to hear that also. You have to hear that. There was no like, oh, let me get out of here. I want to resign immediately from Secret Service. No, there was incredible. Every one of them. There wasn't one that was slow. A woman who was on my right, she was shielding me, beautiful person. She was shielding me everything she could. And she got criticized by the fake news because she wasn't tall enough. Well, you know, she wasn't tall enough because I'm tall and she wasn't tall enough. And she was criticized. She was so brave. She was shielding me with everything. She wanted to take a bullet because the bullets were flying. Incredible. And every one of those guys, and the crowd experts say when there's a shot fired, like at a soccer stadium, the whole place, they call it a stampede. They run for the gates. Nobody ran because they saw I was in trouble. And it's an amazing thing. I'm telling you, this is a movement the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. And I feel the same way about that. Right? Thank you. Those people are great. I just want them to know that. They're all sort of famous now, you know. But it's not, you don't see one person running off that platform. The women, a couple of them ducked, but they got up. They got up, everyone. There's not one person that ran, and some of these guys and some of the women, they stood up in the face of all that noise and all that scary stuff, and with all the blood that they were witnessing, they stood up and they were looking right, because they wanted to help Secret Service and they wanted to help the police. They wanted to find out who that guy was. So I just thank that whole crowd. But those people behind me and the people in front were the exact same thing. You just didn't get to see them. If Baltazar Harris stays in charge, every week we will bring a never-ending stream of illegal alien rapists, bloodthirsty killers, and child predators to go after our sons and daughters. That's what's going to happen. Nothing good is going to happen out of this. If I'm elected, we will immediately deputize the local police and form a massive dragnet to scour the nation for the monsters who are murdering and raping our children, and we will ship them out of our country immediately. And those countries will take them back. You know, under President Obama, they wouldn't take them back. They said, no, sir, we can't do it. They won't take them back. They put planes on the runways. I said, what do you mean planes? They put planes on the runway, so when we fill a plane full of MS-13, we're going to land in Guatemala or Honduras or El Salvador or some country. We can't land the plane. They have planes sitting on the runway. This has gone on for years, so I said, I want them all out of here. They said, we can't for that reason. They have the roads all clogged. I said, how much money do we pay them? Because we pay everybody money because we're so stupid. So the three countries, we paid about $750 million a year for economic development. I haven't seen too much economic development. So I tell them, I said, tell them they're delinquent, they're in violation of everything, and we're not paying them anymore. And they did. They said, we're not paying you anymore. And the next day, I got 3 calls from the presidents of those 3 countries. I won't tell you exactly which ones, but you sort of have an idea. And they said, Mr. President, sir, is there a problem? Now, you have to understand, they've been telling Obama and Biden for years, we're not taking your people back, and we just kept paying them like stupid people, pay, pay, pay. I said, they're delinquent. I said, you're delinquent. But they said to me, sir, is there a problem? We seem to have a problem. This was early in the morning. I got 3 separate calls almost at the same time. Is there a problem, sir? Because they were notified there's no more money coming their way. I said, yeah, the problem is all the people, and they send them. They don't just come here. They send them. They put them in caravans, and they send them. And they put most of their bad ones in those caravans. They put the prisoners, they put the mental patients, they put a lot of bad ones. So I said, no, we're not sending you any more money. They said, sir, we would be so delighted to take back MS-13. We love them very much. They took back everybody. From that point on, we took out thousands and thousands of criminals, and we sent them back to their country. They said, we would be delighted to take them back, sir.